What's up guys, my name is Connor and welcome back to Star Wars Central. It is time to do another weekly recap of Star Wars news, in partnership with Star Wars Newsnet. Hello to those of you watching at Star Wars Newsnet. If you enjoyed today's video, head over to my channel Star Wars Central. I've got loads of great videos just like this one. I made them myself. Anyway, on with the recap. We have 6 pieces of Star Wars news to recap this week. So let's get started. Number 1. First up, there is a new Disney The Force Awakens spot which focuses on Rey. This new spot doesn't contain any spoilers, but it's still a good watch. On top of this, we also get a look at Simon Pegg's character that we see from the San Diego Comic-Con behind the scenes footage. Here we see him standing next to J.J. Abrams and Daisy Ridley. Further evidence to prove that this is Simon Pegg's character comes from the Making Star Wars character description of Pegg's character. It says he's got a huge downturned nose, he's rather troll-like, he's an angry looking oaf. Based on seeing Unkar and seeing the underportion of his costume, I believe Pegg is almost certainly playing Unkar Plutt in Star Wars The Force Awakens. So that is probably Simon Pegg's character, he's likely playing Unkar Plutt in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Although we don't know what his actual role in the plot of the movie is yet. If you want to see the original behind the scenes footage or the full Rey Disney Channel spot, then check out the links in the description below. Moving on to number 2. We have a huge piece of news from Empire Magazine that gives us so many ridiculous details, it would be impossible to cover it all properly within even 10 minutes of video. So I'm going to summarize it and give you guys the basics. It turns out J.J. Abrams took inspiration from iconic movies and directors other than George Lucas, such as John Ford Westerns and Kurosawa's High and Low. He said he used them for the confidence of the footage and the unbelievable scene choreography and composition. Next up in the article, Andy Serkis, the actor playing the First Order's overlord, almost like a new Emperor Palpatine, told us that when he was filming, he didn't even know what his character looked like. On top of this, he told us that Snoke is definitely an alien we haven't seen before, the Emperor Palpatine of this Star Wars series. This implies that Snoke is going to continue past Star Wars Episode 7 and up until Star Wars Episode 9. The Force gets tired and takes a nap. I know my humor's awful, but it's better than trying to take a random guess at what the movie's going to be called. Anyway, Serkis continues saying that Snoke is severely damaged, and although he is a powerful leader, he comes across as vulnerable, very scarred and disfigured. Moving on in the article, we also learn that J.J. Abrams is basing the lightsaber combat in The Force Awakens from the original trilogy with primitive, aggressive and rougher lightsaber styles. Which is fantastic news because it means J.J. is returning to the roots of lightsaber combat. For example, Luke Skywalker versus Vader, not some of the more crazy, what I'd only describe as heavily choreographed lightsaber sequences from the prequel trilogy. And the final piece from this article is an interview with Mark Hamill, who plays, obviously, Luke Skywalker. He tells us that we should expect Luke Skywalker to be on his own for the majority of the film. And he also confirms that it was Luke's hand on R2-D2 in the original trailer. Remember, there are way more pieces of important news in that article, so if you want to check it out for yourself, there's a link in the description below. Moving on to number 3. We learn of a new planet in The Force Awakens. The new planet is called Hosnian Prime. We already know about Jakku, Takodana and D'Qar. Apparently D'Qar is the home of the Resistance base. Takodana is where Maz Kanata's castle is located, and obviously Jakku is where Rey and Finn both meet and commandeer the Falcon. But there is also more news in this article. There was a map included that shows the location of the Empire's Arctic base, called Starkiller Base, which is also a massive Death Star-style superweapon built into a planet, and they say on this map that it's next to Ilum. Now historically in the Star Wars universe, Ilum is a planet where kyber crystals, the same crystals used to create lightsabers, are located and found in abundance. On the map, Starkiller Base is also labelled as Origin Point, implying that the base moves. What if the Empire has hollowed out Ilum using the kyber crystals inside to create the Starkiller Base's solar system destroying weapon? It's a bit of an insane theory, but both are ice planets, and it seems very likely that to create the weapon that the First Order's created, you would at least have to mine Ilum quite heavily for the kyber crystals. Anyway, moving on to number 4. We have news that The Force Awakens has been rated at PG-13. This was rated by MPAA. In the UK, it is rated at PG-12A, which is like the British equivalent to the PG-13 standard. There isn't really much to extrapolate from that news, so we're just going to move straight on to number 5. Number 5, Daisy Ridley did an interview with Glamour magazine. She said that on the first day of filming she was petrified and that J.J. Abrams said her performance was wooden. It's not really a surprise really, it must be absolutely terrifying to film on the first day of a Star Wars set. Ridley also said that Steven Spielberg has seen Episode 7 3 times already. So if it's good enough for Spielberg to keep going back for more, I'd imagine it's going to be absolutely incredible for us. And finally, number 6, Star Wars Battlefront. The Battle of Jakku DLC, which is releasing on Tuesday, has a live stream event on Monday. The event takes place at 11 AM PST, 2 PM EST, 6 PM GMT, and 8 PM CET. The live stream will be on twitch.com/EA Star Wars. There's a link in the description below. I strongly advise that you guys check it out. There is probably going to be a lot of live gameplay and a trailer to kick the DLC off. The event is in London, but unfortunately I wasn't invited, but I will still be covering the event the moment it goes live. That way you get all of the juicy details right here on Star Wars Central. Anyway, that's it for this weekly recap. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. And if your feelings are more complicated, then feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and may the Force be with you.